It's very important for me to know if I've got my completion rates in place or not. Very important for me to know what kind of courses people have attended and what is their learning trajectory, and hence what should I know at any point of time in terms of where my people lie. Because ultimately it's like sales, right? It's like a sales funnel, and unless you know the learning funnel of a person, it's impossible to know whether your organization is moving forward or not. So I think from that perspective, LMS absolutely required, or rather tracking numbers is absolutely required. Whether you do it through an LMS or through something else is a question, right? And it's a question of scale or maturity of the company. I think after that, it comes down to the question of looking at what kind of LMSs make sense for you at what scale as an organization. I think as the organizations become more and more complex, you would need a more complex LMS so that it helps you figure at some level of some degree of sharpness as to where people lie, and hence if I have some other role in some other function, who are the people who likely have the skills to be able to get to that place. And ideally I would like to envision that if it's a really massive corporate organization, if someone is saying I want to do some other role, then the LMS should say, hey, you know what, these are the skills that you need to learn, and hence these are the courses that you should do, and not just relevant to that organization, but in being able to curate from what is there on the web and so on and so forth. So I think that is a far more complex solution, but with scale you need to build something like that out, and it has to be automated, because I don't think one person can come and tell you that, you know what, you are in charge of your career, but you have to figure out what you want to do. So it can't be done with multiple interactions with managers. People are self-driven today, so you need an automated system that helps you figure out your own path and pulls out whatever is there online, and that has to be a very important feature in an LMS at scale. Whatever is there, whether it's TED Talks or YouTube videos or things that are there on, say, a platform like LinkedIn, or things that are getting shared, is there an LMS that helps me keep track of whatever I want to, and still tells my manager or my people in the organization that I have these skills because I've gone through these courses, irrespective of where the source is coming from, makes it a truly scalable LMS, which means that it is taking into account formal learning and informal learning, and then tells you what you are as a person, what skills you have as a person. If an LMS can do that, absolutely amazing. But I think wishful thinking for a startup for sure, because you have to think of what is relevant for the startup or the business at its maturity stage. So all the way from Google Sheets to just a content distribution platform, and all the way up to a really complex LMS, depending upon where you are as an organization, you have to make those calls. But really important to keep track of numbers. If you're not, then very unlikely that you'll be able to steer the organization forward.